Hey guys, my name's Caitlin and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is so surreal. This is the most awesome thing ever. I'm so excited, so pumped. I've spent so much time and money getting this all ready and sorted. Today's video is going to be a chit chat, get ready with me kind of video, talk through, I guess, on this look here. I had no idea what I was going to do when I started. This is what I came out with. I give you guys lots of tips and tricks throughout and I explain a little bit about don't really know what I'm doing, so obviously any feedback would be awesome, but let's jump straight into it. And if you want to learn how to get this look, keep on watching. Okay guys, I'm just going to jump straight in. I have no idea what I'm doing today, but we'll figure it out as we go along. I've already cleansed my face, moisturized, exfoliated, serumed, all that sort of stuff. And I have clean hands, which is really important, especially if you find you're prone to breakouts or acne, that sort of thing. It's really important to have clean hands when you are putting your makeup on, because you don't want to be spreading bacteria all over your clean face and then caking a whole bunch of makeup on and locking that in there for your skin to soak up. So that's really important. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my Nivea Men's Balm. Now the trick with this is to make sure you keep rubbing it in until it becomes tacky. So like sort of sticky. It's a really hard sensation to explain, but you will know it when you feel it. It won't feel slippery like it does when you first put it on. Obviously put too much on because it is taking ages to rub in. Now I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof All Day Extreme Wear Concealer. So if I have any breakouts or redness, like on this side of my nose here, I'll put this on before I put my foundation on to cancel it out. I also have really bad pores in my nose here. So what I like to do to try and cancel out those, fill in those pores, is put on a little bit of concealer. And I'm just gonna cover some of this redness as well. Okay, now most of my makeup brushes, I was going to wash them last night because I knew I'd be filming today, but I totally forgot, so they're probably dirty. I'm really sorry. And then with my nose, what I like to do is just start patting it in so that it fills in those pores a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfectly blended, it can just look like you've got a big blot of concealer on your face, because once you go over with your foundation, it's going to blend it all out. If I find there's places that aren't as red as other places, I tend to just use whatever's on my brush. Now I just like to take my powder brush, just one that I used yesterday that's already been used, it's got a little bit of product left on it, and just lightly go over. Just to set it a tiny bit so that it doesn't slip too much once I put it on. I'm going to use the Kat Von D Locket foundation, Tattoo Locket foundation. This is in the shade Medium 54 and it's nearly empty, but I've got another one. So this is the most full coverage foundation. I have the worst freckles in the world and this covers them, no worries. Okay, now taking my damp beauty blender, this is a bit dirty but who cares, I'm gonna blend that all out. You can use a brush or a beauty blender depending on the look that you want. I personally prefer a very high coverage finish, so I like to use a beauty blender. The Morphe M439 brush is amazing for full coverage foundation as well, but it's still that more natural look. This definitely takes it on 10 times better than anything else. So that's our foundation done. Now we're going to go in with concealer. This is my favourite part I am going to be using the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay. I have got the light one, I think it's light warm. This is extremely pale, but I like a really bright under eye to highlight my face, and once again, once you put your bronzer and all that sort of thing on, it looks fun. So just now I'm going to take my beauty blender again and spray it with a bit of MAC Fix Plus. Okay. And then just blend that out. The trick with blending your concealer out under your eye is to make sure that you're dabbing, not rubbing and up and down and back and forth. This will help to get the concealer right into those creases in under your eye and make sure that it's not going to cake up in the end. Now we're going to set the under eye area. I like to use the Morphe M438 brush and taking my Laura Mercier translucent powder. God, I hate doing this, it goes everywhere. Alright, and just dipping my brush in, I just keep it in the top like that. Once I've done my baking in the areas that I prefer it, I go in with a powder foundation. My absolute all-time favorite is the Nude by Nature powder foundation. Today I'm using the shade Medium. I would prefer to have a darker colour, but I didn't have one because I wasn't planning on getting a spray tan. It was spontaneous, but this is what we're working with. I'm using the Zoeva 106 powder brush. It is really dirty, I'm sorry. Dipping into that. So just going in the areas that I haven't put any bakage on. My face is still quite light compared to the rest of me, but once I've bronzed it will be fine. I'm just going to use that same Morphe M438 brush, powder all my nails, and dust away that bakage. Now I'm going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, contouring palette. Going in with this middle shade here. I'm not used to this like being opposite and turning to the camera, so I'm like thinking that I'm turning, I don't know, it's really weird. I think that I'm turning, I don't know. We'll figure it out, we'll get there. I do my forehead as well. And I will go in under my jaw and just a little bit over my chin to try and blend that in a bit better. It's really strange though, like sort of when I turn like that you can see it's a bit better. In real life I'm not this different, like my face looks almost identical to my chest. Obviously that's just the camera, but whatever. I promise, I'm not lying to you. I'm going to go in and contour. Now for contouring, I like to use the Morphe M523 brush. It's a little bit fluffy, but it's very dense as well. Going back in with my Kat Von D palette using this shade here. I'm going in just so when I sort of look at the camera, I'm pretty lucky. I have some pretty defined cheekbones anyway, but I like to make them look like they're gonna cut a bitch. So when I look straight ahead, I can sort of see where it starts, and I tend to sort of set my brush in and go down. If you don't have defined cheekbones like that, the best thing to do is sort of feel for where the highest point of your cheekbone is. Best way to sort of gauge that is from where your ear is, sort of feel where there's a bit of a dip, and then you want to go straight in that dip under the bone. Kind of coming off muddy in this camera, but it definitely doesn't look like it in real life. Maybe I just need to play around with my lighting settings, I'm not sure. Oh girl. It almost looks pink in this lighting. Maybe I really need to change my settings. Alright, so I'm just going into my little Z palette that I've made of a couple of blushes that I have from Makeup Geek. I'm going to make a combination of Spellbound, and Bliss. So I'm going to use a Morphe MB35 brush. I like a heavy blush. I want it to look like I've just been to the gym, my face is sweating, I'm nice and red, rosy cheeks. Not really, but I like it to be noticeable. Now I barely touch my face when I'm putting my blush on, because if not it's just kind of like and you've got a big bright red blush thing here and it's really hard to blend out. So you just barely touching the skin, circular motions. I like to start in the apples of my cheeks, then slowly work my way up my cheekbone. I don't like to put too much product up there. I just like to slowly bring it back to bring that cheek back a bit. Beautiful. So I'm going in with my tried and true My Baby. I actually bought 2 of these because they're limited edition, obviously, and I didn't ever want to run out, which I probably will because I use it every day. I'm going in with my Becca Cross Jaclyn Hill Champagne Glow palette. Now, excuse me, it's really dusty. That is the only thing about this palette that I've found, is it does have a lot of fallout, but I'm not complaining because hey, it looks amazing. At the moment I'm using the Morphe M501 brush. So I'm going to go in with Champagne Pop here, load up that brush. Look at that. Look at that. And ready for the glow to the gods. Now it does sort of look a bit liney at the moment, but that's fine, we can fix that. So I'm going to go in with Rose Spritz, which is this colour here. You can see my book tripod, how good is it? I've got like, I don't have a tripod yet, so I've just stacked up a ton of books. Anyway, so I'm going in with this colour Rose Spritz. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that on my blush brush just a little bit and go back over the apples of my cheeks, just where it's kind of that bit too boom highlight. Like, not that that's a bad thing ever, but sometimes it's a little too intense, you know, pretty noticeable. So now I'm just going to take my ring finger, dip my finger into the Champagne Pop. Taking some more on the tip of my finger again. Beautiful, that is the base done. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything, knowing me I have. Now I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. Taking my Zoeva 317 wing liner brush. I like to outline my brow first and then sort of fill in afterwards to make sure that I'm not mucking up the shape, because then I'll cry and throw things and we don't want that to happen. I don't load up my brush lots either. I sort of tend to get a fair bit of product on there to start off with, and then I just use whatever's on there, usually to fill it in as much as I can, just to make sure that I don't look like I've got Sharpie eyebrows. Yeah, at the start of my brow, I don't like to block it, so I don't like to draw a line and join it all up. I usually sort of do a few strokes with my brush to kind of get some product on there. And then taking my finger again, I just tend to sort of push in back towards my brow And I feel like that just, for me, blends it out a bit easier, more natural looking, and then I can just go in and fix it up. So obviously underneath here needs to be a bit more defined. I don't know. I think they're the same. Whatever. I'm going with that. Now for the eyes. This is the hardest part because I have no idea what I want to do. I am going to start off by taking, hang on, Makeup Geek Mirage. This is not necessarily a matte shadow. It's not a shimmer. It's just got this really nice, beautiful sheen to it. It just looks amazing. Like, I love it. Just taking it on a big fluffy brush. This is the Zoeva 222 brush, 222, I don't know. And I'm just gonna put that all over the lid as a base to start off with. Now, I am most likely going to, no I am, can't lie, I am going to go in with my Morphe palettes. Oh my god, oh it's really dirty and janky, but reality. I'm going to start off with my 350M, which is all the matte shades. Oh my god, this palette, I die. Oh my gosh, I just can't. The beautiful warm shades, but there's some neutrals in there. It's just perfect. Perfect for every day. No matter what you're doing, you can use this palette. I love it. Right, so I'm going to start off by taking this. Oh my god, I've so not worked this out yet. Taking this shade right here. I'm going to put that in my crease. Oh, by the way, this is the Morphe M441 brush. Just any big fluffy brush. This curl, dear, stay back. Come on, you can come out once and done. Yeah, any big fluffy brush will do. Seriously, you don't have to go out and spend all your money on $100 brushes. Morphe is so cheap too. Like, I can't remember how much this brush was exactly. I'll link it down below. It is a bit more expensive because it is in American dollars, so in Australia it kind of works out a few dollars more. The shipping does really hit you hard from the Morphe website. I believe you can get some Morphe products from Beauty Bay, but I just do a bulk order from Morphe and the shipping's worth it in the end. So yeah, taking that colour into the crease. The trick with blending is to be really, really light-handed. Don't just go in and put the shadow, oh hello, and just put the shadow directly on your eye and then try and blend it out. Start off soft, slow, gentle, circular motions, whatever works for you. If it's blended out and it looks seamless, then who gives a damn? Okay, next I am going to take the same Morphe M441 brush, and I think I'm going to take this colour, oh my goodness, this colour here, and I'm going to put that a bit lower in my crease. I can hear kids next door crying. Shut up. I'm cruel. I'm going to take this colour here and I'm going to put that on the outer part of my eye. The trick really with eyeshadow is to start off so small, so simple, and keep building. Don't just put a shit ton on your brush, pack it on your eye, and then expect to be able to blend it out. Some people can do that, yes, but when you're beginning or if you're not perfect at your blending, it's not going to work for you. You're going to get frustrated and you're just going to end up crying in a ball in the corner. The trick is to start slow, start light, and build up the pigment. Like, these shadows are so pigmented that if you're going to just block it on, it's going to be really difficult for you to start blending out. So the lighter you are, it's going to not look that noticeable to start off with, but then you keep building, and you will you'll get there. Does take time, does take effort, but beauty is pain. That doesn't really work in with what I just said, but whatever. I'm going to take that same brush again because we ain't got time for... Sorry, my cat just jumped at my door and scared the shit out of me. I don't have 10 million blending brushes, so going with the same one, it's fine. Wipe it off a bit and you're good. Taking a darker colour again, so going in with this shade here, and I'm going to put that on the very sort of lower lash line and bring it in a bit as well. I find a really good trick is if, for me here, this isn't blended to my liking. I just feel like it's not seamless enough. I like to take just whatever brush you've got. I've got this random little fluffy brush. This is a Zoeva 227 brush, clean. So I will then take it and sort of start blending that a bit. If you feel like that's not working for you, take a lighter eyeshadow like a white or the one that you went in with first, and you can use that to blend it out a bit, but I usually find that the clean brush can do the trick. When I'm switching between the brush that's got the product on and the brush that's clean. Even sometimes taking your fingers are your best tools. Taking your finger can really help soften and blend it out. I'm going to go in with this colour here. You can't really see that it's a shimmery, it's like a shimmery white almost, but it's like a pinky, I don't know. So I'm going to take that on my brush, load it up. This is a Zoeva 234 brush. Load that up with the product, spray my brush with some Fix Plus, and put that on. Okay, that's still really powdery, so I'm just going to take some more Fix Plus. I find that sometimes if you're not spraying with Fix Plus or some kind of setting spray, the sort of pigment can... I haven't used these shadows without the Fix Plus yet, so I'm not sure if it's the same with Morphe, but I found with some other sparklier eyeshadows, the pigment kind of disappears, so we'll see how we go. I'm going to take Colourpop Super Shock Shadow. I think it's the colour Alchemy, I believe. It's just like a very pinky, glittery shadow. I'm going to use my finger for this. I'm going to spray my finger with Fix Plus. And then I'm going to dip my finger into the shadow and then apply that on my lid for that sort of more glittery effect. I feel like you really have to load up your brush or finger no matter what you're using for this product. You've really got to get in there and go for your life. And then you can sort of see up close that it gives that sort of glitter, a bit more of a glittery effect. Okay, now I am just going to take my Morphe M441 brush from before and lightly just sort of blend those two colours in together. Alright, I'm going to do my eyeliner first and then I'll go in and do under my eyes. For my eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. Yeah, in Trooper. Now I'm probably going to make mistakes. I've never done this on camera before. It takes me ages. Sometimes I might start on the inner corner, sometimes I might start with the wing. Today I don't want in here to be quite thick, so I'm going to start off in the middle, draw just a nice line over my lashes, over my lash line, sorry, and then wing it out. Just gonna pull out slightly, just because my skin's a bit saggy, I don't know, helps me. Alright, now I've got to try and get them even. Now this one is a little bit thicker than this one, but I'm liking the look of this one more. Sorry, I'm still zoomed in. So I'm just going to thicken this one up a little bit as well. Pretty damn good. So that's the liner done. Now I'm going to go in and put a little bit of shadow underneath. I'm going to go back into my Morphe 35 palette. And I'm going to start off by taking this shade here. And I'm going to use a Zoeva 231 Petite Crease Brush. Just going into that colour. Right, I'm just going to put that all under, like right under my lash line all the way. I'm going to take this colour next to that one. I'm going to put that all the way under as well, just to give it a bit more depth and dimension. And just taking this darker shade here that we used on the outsides of the eyes and just putting that in the very outer corner. That's the eyes or eyeshadow pretty much done. Now I'm going to go in with lashes. I am going to be using the Eyelure eyelashes in the number 149. These you can get from Priceline, you can get them from Big W, you can get them from Woolies, but I do not recommend that because they're like $25, whereas at Priceline they're about 13 or 14, same as Big W. I apply them with tweezers, so I hold them with my tweezers when I put the glue on, just because I feel like it's easier. Applying the glue along the band. Now I like to let this go tacky for about 30 to 40 seconds, sometimes even longer, just to make sure that it's really going to stick. The best way is to have the lashes sort of above your natural lashes. I don't personally put mascara on before I put my lashes on, purely for the fact that I have really long lashes and it can be really hard to get them on. And I just find it easier. You can put mascara on afterwards and blend them in, that's fine. You do what you prefer. So I like to place the lash in the middle and then bring the corners down and place them. Now the glue does dry down to clear. Once it's dried down, you can always just run over it with your eyeliner as well to make sure that it goes nice and matte. find you'll have to work with the corners quite a bit. I find I have to once I've got the lashes on, let it sit for a little while to dry and work them in better as well. Okay, now to go over the lash line, once you've got them on, I always like to, just to be sure, I like to take this eyeliner, the Face of Australia one, just because it's got the longer brush and it's easier to manoeuvre now. Now I'm going to take mascara. Any mascara will do. I have been using this one. It's by Rimmel, the Scandaleyes one in green. They have heaps of different colours. I found the green one is the best. The wand on this one is big and fluffy, and it's brilliant. Now for lips, I think I'm going to go in with some Kat Von D liquid lipsticks today. I'm going to go in with Requiem and Vampira. Now I know this is it seems like a really weird combination, but Vampira has a very, very, very red undertone, which is great sometimes, but I love the way it looks with a purple undertone. So what I'm going to do is pop on Requiem, let it dry down, and then pop on Vampira, and it'll give it that nice purpley look. Now that that's dried down, I'm going to take Vampira and go over the top. I do overdraw my lips slightly, purely because I wish they were bigger and they aren't even. Also, this is definitely more purple in real life than it is showing on camera, but that's fine. I'm going to be using a setting spray. I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. You can use any. You can use the MAC Fix Plus as a setting spray. You can use, I'm pretty sure Australis have one, at Priceline. Anything that works for you, go for it. NYX have a couple. You can grab some of that at Target or online. Whatever. It doesn't have to be a $40, $50 spray like this if you can't afford it. Anything will work for you. It's your own personal preference. I find that even if you're not wanting to have your makeup last for ages necessarily, using a setting spray really helps to dull down a powdery sort of look that you can get from putting on your, obviously your powder foundations, your baking and highlighter and all that sort of thing. So that just really helps dull it down and gives you a beautiful fresh finish. So I'm just gonna spray my face. I do it really weird. I feel like if I just go like this, that it doesn't get my whole face. So I kind of spray sort of a big chunk here, 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 whatever. Okay guys, so that's it. That was my first ever makeup tutorial / YouTube video. I did put on a different necklace and fixed up my hair, although it's still not doing what I want it to do. Anyway, I'm so excited to finally be able to do something like this. YouTube is something I've wanted to do for years, not because I want to make millions of dollars or because I want companies to send me PR packages and have a massive makeup collection that I don't use. That's not why I'm here. I'm here as a passion. I'm here to do what I love and share that with other people. And it's something that I'm so incredibly proud that I've gotten to do, and I'm just so excited and grateful. If you have any requests for videos that you want to see, challenges, tags, skincare routines, anything like that, just let me know. I'm more than happy to film anything you guys want to see. Obviously this is my first video, so the lighting might be right, you know, my sound quality, that's another thing. I am getting a microphone for my camera, so if it is a bit echoey, I am working on that. I'll get there. I just spent a lot of money on a camera, so I wasn't quite ready to make the next step and grab the microphone, but we'll get there, that's fine. Like I said, any feedback, I would have really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel, give my video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.